But then every episode has something where there's just this visceral smashing together of like human bodies in combat.
Yeah.
You're so engaged in it, you're actually physically flinching.
Yeah.
When you see Taylor and these guys like hit each other in hand-to-hand combat, and you have tomahawks and you have knives, and you just have, you're nervous a little bit. And especially knowing Taylor and my wife, we're like worried for him.
We're doing one of those fights, and we're doing it where the one she's showing you leaps off a cliff.
That is crazy, but he has a tomahawk.
When it was supposed to end kind of right by this riverbed, it was maybe 15 degrees out when we're filming that, snow everywhere. And with the fight's going, and I'm just staring at that water, right? I'm like, what if it was? And the line producer saw Kim, was like, no, there's no way. And I'm like, and then JJ, the stunt guy, comes up, and we're looking at the river, and he goes, I know, wouldn't it be great? I go, yeah. And then the safety guy, we always had to have a safety guy, like, it's too cold, you can't do it. I'm like, well, wait a minute, I ice bath every morning. Every morning I ice bath. I think they could fight through it. He goes, it's too cold. I go, it's not. Pull up my jacket, pick up my jacket, pull up my sleeve, stick my arm in. It is fucking cold. It's maybe 28 degrees. Moving. I pull my arm out. I'm like, it's too cold. JJ puts his arm and he goes, it's not too cold. We're going to do one pass. He brings the other stunt guy. They're like, we'll fight in the river. We'll just fight through it. I'm like, and now everybody we come down, everybody's fired up. These two fuckers, they were so hard. They fucking fight into the river. You can see it. They go down, they go in, they're beating the shit of each other through this frozen water. They get to the end. The other stunt guy has passed out from the cold. He's out. And JJ just starts slapping him. Well, you gotta wake up, buddy. You gotta wake up. He slaps him till the guy wakes up. The guy wakes up, looks around, and they finished fighting. And they kept going in one take.
Wow.
And those guys.
Wow, that is awesome. Yeah, that jump off that cliff with that tomahawk in hand is just awesome.
Those are the bodies hitting bodies, you know, and that was part of the ethos of our show, is like everything must have hurt. If you were on a wagon moving 20 miles across the country and you had a bad back, can you imagine the compression on your discs of this for 3 weeks? Just the bumping of the wagons was an impact sport.
Man, I couldn't tell that any of these people were stunt people. I couldn't tell, and I was looking because I'm always wondering like which actors can ride horses and make it look real and that sort of a thing. I don't know much about that, but I know a little bit, enough to be dangerous, I guess.
Yeah.
But it looked like you couldn't tell it was some other than Taylor doing all of these stunts. You couldn't tell it was anybody else. Like, I don't know the way you guys did it. There is no place where I feel like I could have paused something and been like, yeah, see, that's not Taylor. Like he is crushing this thing.
Yeah, Taylor learned how to ride well. He knew how to ride, but he learned how to ride really well. All the actors, one of the first questions I asked everyone, a crew member and cast member before I'd hire them is, how's your body for this shoot? How are your ankles, how are your hips, how are your knees, how's your neck? Like, are you up for this? And some people said no, because it's not an easy show for the crew.
Yeah.
And with the actors, and actors will all lie about everything. Can you ride? Of course. No. Can you really ride? Of course. Okay, prove it. We'll put them on a horse. You can't trust, with all due respect to actors, they will lie until they can do anything. I remember when I was doing Friday Night Lights, I found one of my actors who told me he played high school football, reading Football for Dummies in the lobby of our hotel.
He's just brushing up on it.
I'm like, really? He's like, I lied, man. I wanted the part. But they all could ride really well.
Yeah. It looks so good. Everything looks so good. And it also looks so dangerous for them as actors. You're just watching this, you're like, oh my gosh, that's what it looks like, which makes you feel viscerally connected to this show. It's awesome. And poor Taylor had to go right from this right into Dark Wolf.
Yeah, we broke his foot, and then you guys concussed him.
Yeah, he got beat up in both of these shows, and people, when they see this and then they watch Dark Wolf, they'll be able to see Taylor's year and how he just goes from this one to the other, where he just takes a beating. But it's similar in both shows. I was thinking like, wait, this guy's taking a beating, but what I loved about shows growing up, like say Raiders of the Lost Ark. First, you see Indiana Jones in that first one, just beat up throughout this whole thing. But as a kid, you're watching that and you're like, resilience. Look, this guy takes a beating every time he gets up and he keeps going. Look, and now he's standing on a submarine, figuring out how to get on it in this one scene. And then, the spirits are coming out of it. I mean, I love that. I love when people take a beating and keep moving forward. People love Rocky, keeps getting hit and keeps getting up, keeps moving forward. And Taylor does it in this. Taylor does it in Dark Wolf. And he took some hits in both.
Yeah, I remember Kitz's last day on the set was his final scene in the movie, which is a pretty heavy scene. Mm-hmm. And he was done. I mean, he had been through it on this show, physically and emotionally. He really put a lot into it. And I remember us saying goodbye to him. And he looked like he'd been through it, and I give him a hug. And I said, all right, go have a vacation. He goes, I'm going right into Dark Wolf. I got wardrobe. And I looked at him, I'm like, oh, man, like you're going right from this into Jack Carr's universe, and I know what that universe is. And that's not like a small love story on a beach where he's going to be, drinking wine with a girl, talking about, love. Mm-hmm. I'm like, just take a nap, man. Take a nap.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was a busy year for him. If you enjoyed this clip, click here to watch the full episode, or click here to watch another clip from the podcast.